Hi everyone, my name is Junon. I have a health science background and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy, How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is about the romantic compatibility between ENFJs and ISTJs. I think that most people have asked themselves the question, who's the best match romantically within a person based on certain characteristics? And the MBTI personality types, I think, is a good starting point because it explores, again, a number of aspects of people's personalities, and that can predict, I would say, at an 80% accuracy whether a romantic pair, would actually be successful long term. So let's look at what ENFJs and ISTJs have in common. Obviously, they are both judgers. So these are people who are reliable, reachable. They like to plan. They tend to be really good in terms of money management. You can count on them. And they don't like to make changes at the last minute. So they will appreciate that about each other. So in other words, they know this person is very much the reliable type. The other aspect is that although the ENFJ is officially an extrovert, but because this personality type is an intuitive, they will behave mostly like an introvert. So in other words, because the ENFJ has one of the best energies just below the INFJ, they will need time alone to recharge. And obviously the ISTJ is an introvert, so they will appreciate the fact that they probably will spend more time alone or with close friends or families to recharge. Now, obviously, they will have a number of challenges. First of all, it has to do with the fact that the ENFJ is very much a feeler, and specifically an extrovert feeler, and that function is their first one. So this is someone who's very right brain dominant. And so these are people who because you look at where their thinking function is, the fourth one, which is introvert thinking, it means that whenever they are sort of like trying to make decisions, they go more for the heart than for logic. And that may be a challenge in their relationship because the ISTJ is very much about logic. So that they're going to have some challenges there. Now, the other aspect is that the fact that the ENFJ is an intuitive feeler and at the pretty high level because they're only below the INFJ, they have one of the best energies. So the ISTJ, being a sensor judger and also being a thinker, have among the lowest energy. So if, let's say, the ENFJ spends time with the ISTJ, they will feel drained. But the ISTJ may not, understand that. So they might be conflict. Oh, why don't you want to spend more time with me? And the ENFJ, being the type to want to please others, wants to have harmony in their relationship, might sacrifice themselves, and they could actually become sick over time. Because I don't think people understand that when we put two people together, their physiology tend to synchronize, and the bigger the gap in terms of how their energies are, the more likely the person who has the most coherent energy will be depleted over time, and they can obviously become sick. Now, if you look at their brain type, one is like if you look at the NFJ, it's around 7 cycles per second, whereas the ISTJ, they have a beta brain dominance, so it's around 15 or 16 cycles per second, and that's how you can know if a person is compatible. It has to do with their brainwave dominance, so there's a big gap between the two, so they don't look at the world the same way. Even in terms of the theme of their lives, the ENFJ is about spirituality and meaning, and the ISTJ, it is duty and tradition. So they are at opposite ends. Having, let's say, a slow alpha brain dominance, they are about the abstract future, whereas the ISTJ, it is about the concrete past. So they may not get along on that level. And the other aspect also, I think it has to do with even the body language. Being an intuitive feeler, especially an extroverted feeler, the ENFJ tends to be more expressive than the ISTJ. So there might be an issue in terms of not able to feel comfortable, in terms of how they express their emotions. So the ISTJ tend to have a stoic face, and the ENFJ, because very much wants to bond with their loved ones, may feel that they can't really bond well with the ISTJ because there's not a sense of, okay, this person has the same sort of body language and understands their need for physical affection. So that may be a real issue in their relationship. So overall, I don't think this would be a good match. And because obviously, as I said, because the fact that one is a very much an intuitive feeler, so very right brain dominant. The other person is obviously with the ISTJ, they have extroverted thinking as their second function, so it's very left brain dominant, so they don't look at the world the same way. One is very much about the heart, the other one's very much about logic. So if, let's say, they're evaluating a situation, they might not come to the same conclusion. The other aspect is that one has a slow alpha brain dominance, the other one has a beta, so their energies are very different because a person brain dominance will determine the energy output. So in other words, it's very much what determines if a person has a different type of vibration they give off. So that combination means that the ENFJ, most likely, if they spend enough time with the ISTJ, may even become sick because their physiology is totally different, even in terms of their need for affection, because the ENFJ has a feminine and orderly relationship style, whereas the ISTJ has a masculine and orderly. So they are very much at opposite ends. And the ENFJ, being an intuitive feeler, needs sort of affection, and they like someone who's expressive, who's warm. And the ISTJ comes across as rather stoic, and that might be an issue. And the ENFJ tends to be the martyr type, so they might not even express these issues to the ISTJ. So it's going to be a relationship where the ENFJ may just suffer in silence for a long period of time, and that also obviously will impact even their sex life, because obviously if there's this incompatibility, they might not feel comfortable going there in the bedroom. There might be a lot of insatisfaction on the ENFJ's part. So let me know if you agree or disagree with this romantic compatibility analysis by commenting below. If you like this video, if you learned something, please click on the like button. Remember to click on the notification bell to be notified of the videos I'm going to be making. Subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.